Hey YouTube, Coppersan here. If you are just starting out or returning to MapleStory, this is the series for you. We're going to be building up a new account in the newly released Reboot server in the NA region of MapleStory Global. This series is really aimed at beginners and returning Maplers, so I will be explaining everything in detail, so you too can jump right in and enjoy the crazy amount of leveling events that are currently active. Assuming you already did research into which character you like, make sure to designate your character as a hyper burning character once you create it. This will allow you to speed through the game at tremendous speeds and obtain a lot of powerful equipment that will help you set up your character. MapleStory is a game that rewards you for creating multiple characters through various systems, such as Legion and Link skills. So even if you don't end up liking the current character that you're playing, you will never lose out, as playing different classes is kind of a must anyway. So when you first log in, let's get those settings sorted. Make sure to turn on monster silhouettes and lower the skill transparency of other players' their skills. This will help you see things better. I always turn off the screen shake. And here you can also turn your own skills transparent in case you want to have that, and you can turn on your character's silhouette, which will be helpful during boss fights. You can also change how your damage numbers display over here. I highly recommend playing around with these settings and fine-tuning things to your likings. So back to picking a class. For me, I went with the Paladin. This is a very tanky class that is decent at grinding and great to duo bosses with thanks to their many party buffs. Plus I just kinda like the aesthetics. As an explorer though, you'll be stuck in a very long cutscene all the way until level 30, and even higher if you're burning until level 41. The burning event will allow you to get 2 additional level ups each time you level up all the way until level 260. Because we joined the new server, there will be various boosting events for this server specifically. Plus there is something called a reboot box that we can open every few levels for additional rewards. You can also access the burning event through the star notifier at the left side of the screen. Here you can claim rewards and keep track of your burning progress. In MapleStory, each class has their own stat that they need. To be safe, just use the auto assign function and you'll be good to go. For the beginner skills, they really don't matter. You can just put points in whatever you like. You really don't use them anyway, at least not for the explorers. If you are playing as an explorer, you're going to be stuck in a story quest like me for a while. So just go with the flow and complete it. You have to complete it, there's no escaping it. In the rare moments that you can assign your skill points, you can max every single skill in this game. Also, you won't be doing much during your first job advancement anyway, so just max out your skills in whichever order you like. Just make sure to put 1 point in your attack, and then it's kind of like whatever, man, especially for explorers. So once you're finally done with the cutscenes and story, you're going to be level 41. Right now, at the time of this video, there is a huge leveling event going on called 0 to 100. This is an amazing event that will help you reach level 101 super fast. You can access it through the star notifier, but don't go in yet. You can designate your character by typing the name and then -designate. I kept typing my name because I don't read, and apparently you have to type /designate behind it as well. If you're picking any other class, you can start this event even earlier, as you won't be stuck in a story for this long. But first things first, open the guide menu. To get there, first access your keyboard settings to find the guide menu button. Here you can find training maps to teleport to, you can use it to teleport to towns, and you can also claim rewards in this menu. Claim the level 30 reward to get a special title. This title rewards a lot of bonus stats which will help you level up faster. You can claim this reward only once per account, and it is time limited. It can be transferred within your account through the storage though, so you can use it on multiple characters, and the storage NPCs you can find in any major town. Once you hit level 30, you can also open up the event equipment box, so you already have your gear set. If your class is an explorer that uses multiple weapons, for heroes you want to go with two-handed axe. For paladins, for two-handed blunt weapons, and dark knights use spears. Demon Slayers can use either one-handed axes or blunt weapons, but there's no difference between them really, besides some visual differences. But if you really like the looks of one type of weapon, then definitely go for it. We're talking about minimal differences here. Some classes can use a one-handed weapon and a shield, which can be very powerful in the end game, but getting the best shield in the reboot servers is extremely difficult. Grab some EXP buffs if you want, because we're going to start leveling in the new event map. Stay in this event until you hit level 71. You can unlock the 3rd job advancement at level 60, but you should have no issues trading at these monsters. It goes so fast that it actually takes longer to complete the 3rd job advancement. At least for explorers anyway. So you just want to keep going at it, especially if you're using an EXP buff, until you hit level 71. I recommend putting at least 1 point in your class their second job attacking skills and then max out the buffs and passives. If your class has a passive booster skill, only put 1 point in it and max it out last, as the passive booster is usually good enough at level 1 already. Don't worry about anything else for now. Your first goal should be to reach level 200, which is also what we're focusing on right now. MapleStory is a very old game with a lot of content pre-level 200, however most of it is obsolete or can be completed at a later point. After level 200 you unlock your daily quests. Unlocking those faster will help you progress faster, so that's our main goal for the first episode. The same skill logic applies to third job. Put a point in your attacking skill and level up your passives first. We're going to be leveling up using the same 0 to 100 event, so these levels will fly by anyway. Make sure to get the new server supply drop rewards if you're playing in a new Reboot server as well. You don't have to accept them right away, but they give so many mesos and it always feels good to be rich, you know. We can stay in this event map until we hit level 101. Now we're ready for the 4th job advancement, which is at level 100. After completing the job advancement, make sure to open the level 100 box that you got from the burning event. This box contains new weapons and armor that we will be upgrading. We are in the Reboot server, so there is no scrolling. If you're playing in a regular server, you'll have to enhance your items first using spell traces. But we're playing a Reboot, so we don't have to do that. Open your inventory, click on the red hammer button to open up the Starforce window. Starforce will boost your stats, with the biggest gains starting from 15 stars. But for now, focus on getting your items to 5 or 10 stars, depending on which items you have. Starforce on overalls counts double. So if you have 5 stars on your overall, you'll have 10 Star Force. And not all items can get Star Force. The max amount of stars an item can get is located above the item. Usually the higher level an item, the more stars it can get. When Star Forcing, you can turn on the star catching minigame. This slightly boosts the chance of success, but it takes very long, too long for my taste, and mesos aren't exactly an issue right now with all these events. Make sure to move the window a little bit so you can just keep clicking without moving the mouse. We're min-maxing already. When Star Forcing, focus on upgrading your weapons and gloves first, as those give attack or magic attack, which will give you the most additional damage, the most bang for your buck. If you hit level 100, you can also obtain a class-specific emblem if you haven't already. Some classes get it automatically, but for the explorers, you have to accept it through a quest that's level 100. Items in MapleStory can also get potential. These are 3 lines of additional stats, which can be rerolled with an item called cubes. Make sure to use the magnifying glass in your inventory to reveal an item's potential. Potential can rank up as well, from rare to epic, epic to unique, and unique to legendary, with the legendary potential giving the best stats. You will also get a lot of epic potential scrolls from the supply drop event, which I recommend saving except for 2. I recommend to use the epic potential scrolls on your emblem and frozen secondary. These 2 items and your weapon are your priority when it comes to upgrading for damage. That's because these items and only these items can roll stats like damage percentage, weapon and magic attack percentage, ignore defense, boss damage, critical rate, etc, etc, which are all either big boosts for your damage or stats that are a must for boosting your damage against bosses. At level 101 you can also unlock the current Identisk event. Here you have to talk to all NPCs with light bulbs. You can unlock various stores here, a special beginner skill that gives bonus EXP after filling up a gauge, a special login and monster hunting event that rewards multiple items, and more EXP and hunting events, which I will show but in a sec. Just logging in is enough to get the first rewards already, and the other tab requires you to hunt 2000 monsters around your level every day. You can get special coins that you can use in this event store over here. Here you can purchase stabs. These items are needed to get additional lines of potential on your items. Some items, when you reveal them using your magnifying glass, only have 2 lines of potential. And this item is your solution to getting the 3rd line of potential. This is a must, as potential gives a huge amount of stats as well, so make sure to get them and make sure to 3-line your items. There are even more ways to boost your stats, but let's cover those in a later episode. Also, just as a quick tip, the 4th supply drop will give you a trade boost potion. Claim this one and use it to boost your charm. This unlocks your pocket slot, which is another equipment slot. We don't have anything yet to fill it, but it's the best thing to unlock for now. Make sure to get the Hyperion ring from the supply boxes as well if you're playing in this server, and click on the light bulb quest next. Look for a level 60 quest called Have You Learned About Potential. Once completed, another quest that's level 60 unlocks called Have You Learned About Bonus Stats. Complete these 2 quests for a free ring and a free shoulder. There also is a level 33 quest called Have You Learned About Pets, But you get like 3 free pets from the current events, so I just recommend waiting with completing this quest until your current pets expire so you have a spare one. The sheep pet that you get from this quest will only last for a week, so I recommend just saving it. Now, MapleStory is a really old game with a ton of systems and content. You can ignore most regular quests, and I will show you the most important quests that unlock boss fights in a future episode. Alright, speaking of boss fights, who's ready to beat up our first boss? Open the party menu by pressing P and then go to the boss tab, or the bossing menu by pressing F4. We're gonna go fight Zakum. We're going to fight the normal version of this boss, and defeating it gives a nice chunk of EXP. You can also get boss accessories from bosses like this, which will be very important for our progression. When fighting, make sure to dodge the markers on the ground while wailing away at the boss. There is a potion cooldown in this area, so make sure to use your power elixirs that you obtained from the events. Hey, and we actually found a boss accessory and gained 2 levels. Nice. It's time for us to go back to the event map, because there is another huge leveling event going on. It's called Edict's Food Storage. Here you have to hunt monsters and can gain a huge amount of EXP while doing so. This event works with EXP buffs, so you can go crazy and stack as many as you can. Just make sure to read the EXP item buff description so you know if they stack with other buffs or not. This event is insanely good. We got almost to level 150 from just this event alone. Who needs training guides anyway? There also is a fishing minigame which you can play with up to 3 people. This event can be completed up to 3 times a week, and I highly recommend that you do this from day 1. The EXP points that you get from this event can be used after level 200, but they will help you basically skip the first few level 200 plus areas, which is huge. Before we actually start training like normal Maplers, I want to mention another upgrade mechanic called Inner Ability. This unlocks at level 50 and can be reset. Similar to Potential, it can rank up from Rare to Legendary and gives bonus stats. Each class has their own wants and needs, but if you want to go for a solid one while leveling, get your Inner Ability to Legendary by resetting it until it ranks up, then go for Mesos or drop percentage on the first and second line. My class specifically wants attack speed, but I did roll 30 attack before I ran out of honor points, which are needed to reroll your Inner Ability. And those are kinda exhausted. You get more of those Medal of Honors by leveling, defeating bosses, or just by simply finding them or from event rewards. You can also purchase circulators to reroll your Inner Ability, but I just wouldn't bother with those yet. After reaching level 140, you will unlock your hyper stats and hyper skills. You can max out all 4 job skills by now, by the way, you just instantly got those. If you have multiple buffs, make sure to use the macro window in the skill menu to assign multiple buffs or toggles to one key for easier casting. For your hyper skills, each class has different skills, and I recommend looking up a class specific guide or joining a class specific Discord. For Paladin, I just want more damage on my main mobbing attack, which is usually a good choice for any class. For your hyper stats, this is a bit more complicated. This really depends on what your class wants and needs. For my Paladin, since this is our first character on the server, we have very low critical rate. So I'm putting points in critical rate as well as normal monster damage for faster grinding. Getting more critical rate is one of the fastest ways to get stronger. Try to aim for 100% critical rate. There are more sources where you can get this stat, like from Legion, link skills, potential lines on your weapon, emblem and secondary, etc, etc. So don't go too hard on this yet, but I highly recommend getting it to 10 for now. You can always reset your hyper stats for a few mesos anyway. Also, don't go over level 10 for your hyper stats right away. This costs a lot of points, and you're better off leveling other stats like normal monster damage, and critical damage once you're close to that 100% critical rate. Alright, so in the current new age of MapleStory, training at Star Force monsters is the fastest in any server. We want to get 1 additional level up so we can get more gear, and because all good training spots were full, I went to the Skelegons in Livre. You can use one of the many hyper teleport rocks that you've gotten from the events or daily login to go to this map. This particular map is called the Dragon Nest Left Behind 2, and you can find it over here. You can view the world map by pressing W. We get 1 level up, which basically means 3 level ups, so now we reach level 150 plus. Now we can get the next burning event reward, which is level 150 gear. This gear is temporary, but it will give you a massive boost in damage. Make sure to reveal the potential as well. Reaching level 140 also grants a huge amount of boss accessories from the supply drop. Make sure to grab those because they're really good. I trained for a few more levels at floor 4, Music Shop 4 in the Coninck Tower. This is where you have to teleport to. There is a nicer training map below with notebook monsters. However, this map is very popular and it's very hard to get a free spot. Maps with monsters level 100 and above can also have a burning effect, which is a bonus EXP buff. This buff slowly goes away if a map is occupied, so even if in some maps the spawn is less good, the additional burning bonus EXP will make it worth it to grind there. Once your double EXP card runs out, you can take a quick break or continue grinding. I want to quickly show you some basic upgrading first. First of all, get your newly obtained boss accessories to 10 stars. You can also get 12 star scrolls from the supply drop event that you can use as well. The 7th supply drop also rewards an event ring. All 3 rings have the same stats, you can just pick whichever one you like. Just keep in mind that you can get more of those rings and you can only wear one of them at the same time, so make sure to pick a different ring each time you get one. You can use the mythical cubes obtained from the events to reroll your level 150 gear, except for your weapon, those stats are locked and you cannot change those. So when rerolling your level 150 gear, try to aim for 6% of your main stat. That should do the trick for now. You can do the same for your boss accessories as well. If an item does not have potential, you can use an epic potential scroll or any other potential scrolls that you will find along the way. I recommend focusing on your boss accessories and your level 150 gear, as well as your emblem and secondary first. Because we have so many mesos, you can go a little bit harder on your emblem and secondary right away. In major towns like Hanoy, you can use the quick move button at the left side of the screen to access a cube store. Here you can buy glowing and bright cubes. Bright cubes allow you to select which potential you want to save, so when you use this cube, the potential rerolls and then you can select either the before or after potential. You have a higher chance to get better lines and to rank up your items faster, but they also are a lot more expensive than the glowing cubes. So if you like to gamble, if you're feeling lucky like me, get the glowing cubes since you can buy a lot more of them. If you prefer a safe and steady potential rank up approach, get the bright cubes. Just buy a few and focus on either your emblem or secondary first. I got my emblem to unique and rolled attack, which will give us a nice boost. You can also choose to save your messes of course, but getting stronger means grinding and bossing faster, which is what we want to do anyway. Also, quick in between tip, by now your pet will probably have gone hungry. You have to buy pet food every now and then to feed your pet to make sure that they won't return to your inventory. You can buy pet food in most major towns. For example, in the Hanoy market over here, this guy sells you pet food. Make sure to feed your pet, keep them happy, to make sure that they keep looting. Some pets even have an automatic HP and MP function. In the equipment window, you can put in your potions and set by how much HP and MP left, your pets will use potions automatically for you. Some pets even have auto buff skills, which means you don't even have to cast your own buffs anymore. Pets are pretty great. Now that you're stronger, you can continue grinding. I stayed at the same map in the Coninck tower until level 180. Then I went to this golem map in Suthikeeree. I tried a lot of different maps, but almost everything was full or had low burning, and this map had the best burning and the spawn was pretty okay. Then reset happened, so I jumped back into the food storage event map, where I got most of my levels. Also, very important, once you hit level 199, complete the scrapyard introduction quest called Haven, a New Home for a full level worth of EXP at level 199. It should push you above level 200 and ready for your next big milestone, which is the 5th job advancement. Now, before I sign off, there are a few other important pieces of content that you can already do on a daily basis this early on. There is a monster park. You can access this through the monster park shuttle or the dimensional mirror in major towns. These dungeons can be accessed twice a day for free and up to 7 times by buying tickets in the cash shop. I don't recommend buying tickets this early on in your progression. You can, however, on Sunday, as on Sunday this dungeon rewards EXP buffs, so that's highly recommended, but for the other days, I would wait with that for now. This dungeon also rewards a huge amount of EXP and coins that can be used to purchase attack speed, attack and XP potions that will help you level up faster. You can buy those in the store over here at this NPC. You can also go to Maple Tour over here. This dungeon is similar to Monster Park, but you can only enter twice a day for free, and for other entries you'll have to pay. Instead of EXP, this dungeon rewards mesos. You have to wait either 1 week to claim them, but it's a nice way to get some additional income. You can claim them earlier if you want to though, but then you lose half the value, which I do not recommend. Once you hit level 100, you can also unlock the Ursus quest. This is a level 100 quest called Ursus, Rumors of the Mighty. This boss can be defeated 3 times per day, and it also rewards mesos and EXP. You can get double the mesos during certain times of the day, which is indicated by a pop-up message on the right side of your screen. The last 2 options that I just mentioned, the Maple Tour and Ursus, are great ways to get additional mesos early on, and I highly recommend completing them at least every day. Monster Park is also great, and don't forget to accept the quest from Spiegelman to start working towards a special badge. Also, and finally, if you want to get a smaller but easy stat boost, complete the required Alliance or the Alliance Gathers questline by talking to some NPCs. You can find this questline in your light bulb, and the whole thing takes like 5 minutes and rewards you with some additional bonus stats. It ain't much, but all the little bits help at this point. And that's all I had for today. Stay tuned for the next episode, which will be released tomorrow. I'll be explaining the 5th job advancement, all the skills, talk about drop gear, unlock familiars, discuss bonus stats, and we're going to unlock more boss monsters. Many thanks for watching. I hope this first episode was useful. Stay tuned for part 2. And as always, special thanks to our members for making these videos possible. Special thanks to Niels de Coninck, Raar, maar waar, Sebastian Hanoy, Jesus Rodriguez, Kauli Mora, Wiley, Riser Are You, BackSpaceOTI, Ziggy Historycanon, Saffronyx, Flidiot, Knifesu, Cloudfix, Surtito655, Michael Menchaca, Rathius, Afterlord, Betrayal1489, Silvio Nato, Striker Elk, Tidal 1 Fun, Victor Sundstrom, Mathias Simonsson, Mr. Anark, Ben on Games, The Passenger, Kani Wu, Max Bernhardt, Mukau 1017, BNB King, Scotty Flies Fast, Gabriel Eck, Fecko, Vake Botnet, Dante Victory, Mathinu Def, Snack HBG, Only, Lord Vasil, Spats the Kaiser, That Archie Guy, Louis Bento Brandau, Snafu Pop, Tails Curspet, The Wolf Rake, Gaber Wolf, Live Love MapleStory, Kali, Duckfoos, Quinn, Migu, Sir Otter, Nix, and Gulamap Haiva. Thank you all so much for watching. Stay safe and happy mapling!